This week on episode 281 of the Cinema Psycho Show, we are diving straight into the horror comedy The Blackening from Fantastic Four director Tim Story, with special guest, Emmy Award-winning rapper Frzy.
Oh, goody, goody, here it comes.
Welcome to the Cinema Psycho Show.
You are interested in the unknown, the mysterious, the unexplainable. That is why you are here.
Oh, my God, don't stop now!
With your hosts, Brian, John, and Elaine.
Welcome to the Cinema Psycho Show, the madhouse for film freaks and film fans of all types. I'm your host, Brian Coddington, joined by my fellow co-host and filmmaker, John Woolscroft.
All I got to say is how come there's no whitening film?
Oh, this is gonna be a very fun episode. I already know.
Yeah,
I say this in my pickup truck with my sunglasses on and my hat on.
No, there is a whitening movie. It's called Fox News.
No, it's called every other movie.
Jesus.
Oh man. Well, we are on episode 281, and this week we have. I would argue this is probably our biggest guest that we've ever had.
Oh man.
On the podcast in 281 episodes, and I really say that because I've never had anyone who is an Emmy Award-winning artist. On top of that, you hold the official Guinness World Record.
Yeah, man, it's official. You can Google that thing. It's official, man.
Official Guinness World Record holder for longest rap marathon, and he's the face of Steve Madden's self-made campaign. He also has a brand new concert coming to Heinz Hall. What is it, in November, right?
November 8th, baby.
November 8th. We have Frzy with us. Frzy, thanks for being on the show.
Hey, man, good to be in the building and on the mic, man. I appreciate being here, man. This is dope. I love what you guys do. You know what I mean? I'm honored to be 281 out here.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for 282. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be hard for 282. Although I think 282. I think that's gonna be when we jump into our 90s cyberpunk.
What?
Yeah. We got a whole thing where the month of September, right before Halloween, is gonna be our 90s cyberpunk hackers bonanza.
Yo, get out of here. So you talking like Matrix type life?
Oh, no. We're talking terrible ones.
Do we want to mention them, Brian?
Why not?
Yeah, you know? we got Virtuosity.
Classic.
You son of a... Okay.
Lawnmower Man.
Lawnmower Man?
Yeah. We got Hackers and Johnny Mnemonic.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wow. Okay, you guys really, y'all do this in real life. This is,
if you gotta go hardcore 90s cyberpunk, you gotta pick the good ones, right?
I mean, you have to. You have to. You know what I mean? I love that. Dang. Okay. All right.
I've already said that Virtuosity is Russell Crowe's best film ever.
I mean, you wouldn't be lying. You know what I mean? You wouldn't be. I'm telling y'all right now. I'm just putting it out there. I will be, even though I'm not on those episodes, I will be reposting. I am already.
Nice.
Nice. Awesome. Appreciate it.
Well, this week, instead of those movies, we have a movie that honestly, I saw the trailer for this movie when I went to go see Creed 3.
Yeah.
And it is the horror comedy The Blackening.
Yeah.
I would say this is easily much more a comedy than it is a horror movie. There's horror elements, but this is absolutely a comedy.
Absolutely, man. Well, you know, it has that scary movie mixed with Scream, right? Like that comedy, a little bit of
it's got Saw in there.
It got
bodies. Yeah.
I agree. But it's definitely a comedy. But you know what's so funny? And this is why I love you guys, because both of you guys are white. And you can tell by how much you watch, like how much you already can feel this movie that y'all got black friends. And that's why I'm here.
Well, yeah, you know, the funny thing, like as you mentioned, Brian and I are painfully pale.
We are very pale. We are not even like remotely tan. I'm that white guy that quite literally, if I go out in the sun, I start burning. and it's like vampire burn. Like it's like get the fuck out of the sun.
Look, but that's why we just have house parties. We don't keep you in the house. That's
right.
You know,
that's why I work remotely, man. So I don't have to go outside the house.
Facts.
But all I could think while watching this is like, I think of those elderly people who have nothing to do. So they go to the movies like every other day and they'll get a ticket to anything because they don't know what anything is about.
You right.
I could just see like an 80-year-old white couple. Oh, one for the Blackening,
right.
You know? And I'm like, how long did they sit there before they got up?
Yo, I want to see how many like racists accidentally bought tickets because they thought it was going to be exactly what they wanted it to be. Like, oh, the Blackening, it's about time. It's about time. And they get in there and it's like, oh no, you get straight melanin into the mouth. Like this is, you're getting spades. They playing spades in the movie. There's Kool-Aid drinks. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you get it all. And they beat the killer's ass. Anyway, let me stop. Go ahead.
No, you're on roll. I know. The only thing I was thinking of while watching this, I'm just like, so what was the cross section of white people going to see this movie?
I hope it's a lot because God forbid you see a comedy that's like written by like, you know, somebody who was a different color than you for that audience. Yeah. And like, you know, maybe you could actually go and enjoy it. Wow.
Well, I'm just saying more or less like there are some jokes in here that I'm just thinking like a white guy can't laugh at that joke. Like if I was in the theater, I streamed this. So I didn't get the theater experience. Yeah. But I'm like, if a guy was in the movie in the theater and he laughed at that, I'm like, either he's like, ha, 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 ha. Don't look at me. That's it's not the look funny, but laugh. It's still funny. Yeah, it's the look around laugh, right? Like that's what I kept thinking the whole time.
Yeah,
like, man. You can't laugh at that.
Well, you know
it's
what?
Okay, Brian.
And I want to say this on behalf of all black people listening to this podcast right now. That, you know, I think as when a white person buys a ticket to this movie, it comes with an automatic black card, a temporary black card. You know what I mean? That you can keep in your wallet.
Like a day pass. You got a day pass.
You got you know what? You got a day pass. You know what I'm saying? You got a melanated menu. Like you get the
a melanated menu.
You get to pick your shade out. You know what I mean? You coming in, the ancestors welcome you into, you know what I mean, into Wakanda. Like you're fully committed, man. You're in.
Yeah, see, Brian, it's okay because like the park ranger said, we're two of the good ones.
Oh. Well, I think I love the fact that the park ranger's name was Ranger White. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Of course he's Ranger White.
Dog, and I love that they played up against, like, they play with the thought of like, oh, he's the killer. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like, oh,
yes,
you know, it's like they played on that thing where you think you see it coming, or they play with that quirk of how that is in the movie. It's great, man. And it was Nathan Phillips, right? Was that Nathan? Who?
No, that was who is that?
Dietrich Bader.
Yeah,
Dietrich Bader. Okay.
Dietrich Bader.
Dietrich Bader. Okay. Yeah, that was funny. Oh my gosh, Jesus Christ.
And I'm really ashamed to say the only person that I absolutely recognized in this movie was the white guy.
You know,
the one white guy.
Yeah.
Well, you know what this movie was, man, and it's interesting. And I love to say it, and I also hate to say it. But it was a lot of those people in the movie were TikTok stars or like Instagram stars. That were big before TikTok came. You know, when you see these these young black comedians doing skits on Instagram all the time. So a lot of them were that. Now, what's her name? It starts with a T. She's from Empire. She was on Empire. So she was probably the biggest name in the movie. I forget her name. It starts with a T, but she was in Empire. Mm-hmm. So seeing her in this was like, you know, she went from TV to movie, which was great. But a lot of them were Instagram stars, TikTok stars that, like, you know, had, you know, the writer of this did Think Like a Man. You know, he did all those different type of movies. Barbershop. One of the writers from Barbershop. Like, they do these black comedies.
It was the director. The director, Tim Story, was the he was the filmmaker behind Barbershop. Yeah. And Think Like a Man. And then unfortunately he made those Fantastic Four movies.
Okay, whoa, wait, watch your mouth. Watch it. Listen.
Fighting words.
Fighting words.
Jessica Alba is an American legend. Okay.
I never said anything against Jessica Alba.
That is honey right there. You watch your mouth when you talk about honey right there.
Okay, fair enough. But come on, even like the Silver Surfer one, you were cool with that one too.
Okay, you didn't say that one though. We weren't talking about that. Okay. I feel like I'm getting back into a corner right now. I don't like.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I will say Lawrence Fishburne as the Silver Surfer, not bad voice choice.
Not a bad.
Oh no, great choice.
No. Great choice, man. Great choice.
Giant cloud being Galactus Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Could we not get a little bit of a budget? Could I get some eyes? Like
they gave you eyes. They gave you little glowy shit, like little glowy shit,
little T-Rex arms or something.
Yeah. Some. You know what's so funny? That scene reminds me that I feel like they used the same set in that scene that they did at the end of Doctor Strange, where everybody was going backwards. It felt like it was the same.
Oh, you mean the Dormammu crap?
Yeah, I'm like, damn, Dormammu, like find another street. Like you using the same. Like, can we not? But like, yeah, that fantastic.
Listen, the mouse can't spend a crap ton of money on these movies. He couldn't do it back then. He can't do it now.
That is true, man. But I'm still
watch Secret Wars and you'll know.
Okay, wow, you are. Look, listen, we're going.
You know
what? When Secret Wars go out, we're going together. That's it. I don't want to. We're gonna go together and go in on that. Damn. I'm excited to see who they bring on as a new Fantastic Four, because we're not going to talk about the Michael B. Jordan one. We're not going to do that.
No, we can't. I don't even think we reviewed that one, John, when it came out.
Did y'all?
I don't think we touched. I don't think we touched that one. I think it was so bad that John and I were just like, we could skip that one.
We'll just skip that one.
That happens sometimes. Like, there's a lot of movies that come out, and we kind of have to make a decision on, like, do we really want to devote some time and eyeballs to a movie that the director himself came out on Twitter? Oh, excuse me, X.
X, yep, get it?
Fucking X, whatever the crap. And said, hey, this movie's bad. I'm sorry.
Right.
Like, if you do that, I'm not seeing your movie. Like,
listen, like that's like swiping right on somebody on Tinder, and then like right before the date they text you like, hey, I just want to let you know I'm absolutely catfishing you. Like, but I can't wait to see you tonight. Like, what? I'm already invested.
Has that happened to you?
Oh no, not me. I'm lucky.
Not you. Like, I've met people.
Yeah, I've met people. Yeah, no,
Frzy doesn't need Tinder.
No, he doesn't need Tinder.
He's a celebrity.
I got lucky. They selling my poster in Walmart. I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay. Right.
Do they got celebrity Tinder? Like,
you know what they do?
Tinder?
They actually do, dog. It's like you have to be like a certain name, and then they clear you to go in. It's only celebrity.
Oh,
yeah. I probably shouldn't have said that on the podcast.
If you get catfished on celebrity Tinder, does that mean that you could get catfished by, like, maybe not a 10 on celebrity scale, but maybe like a 6?
That's true. But
you said you were Drew Carey.
But see, it's weird in this society, right? Because there's a lot of 6s. Like a Hollywood 6 is like a normal 10. But it's usually like a Hollywood 6 built themselves. Like they're all bought. Oh. Yeah, I mean, it's like them lips ain't yours, them titties ain't yours. Like, like your forehead is suspicious, your eyebrows don't move. Like, you know what I mean? But you know what a 6 on that type of app is the person where you go, I know you're an actor. You were in that you know what I mean? You never know what they in, but you were in that because I seen you in that but yeah. That's the type
I saw you in that Hallmark movie.
Right. Weren't you in that commercial for T-Mobile? Like, that's crazy.
It's like, wait a minute, you're Candace Cameron Bure. Right? You're not supposed to be on this.
You're like, hey, you're the AT&T, you're the AT&T girl. Ain't you supposed to be Squirrel Girl? Yeah, I mean, that type of shit. Like,
the progressive girl is the person.
Yo, Flo, Flo got hoes, man. Flo got hoes out here. You know?
So the Blackening.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. It's just it's great.
Oh, I loved it.
Don't bring me.
I love all this. I'm not cutting any of this out. I'm keeping all.
Y'all, please do. Don't bring me on here. We already friends. Don't bring me on this show. This is y'all problem. But yeah. Okay. So let me ask y'all this before we go.
Yeah.
Right. As the Caucasian of the Caucasus,
white motherfuckers.
That's who we are. Right?
That's cool.
Of the Eastern European type.
Yeah.
When y'all watch this, was there a lot for you to relate to? Were there moments where you were lost? Because I know a lot of the humor is Black humor. How did it make you feel as a white person watching this film, laughing, but did you think you missed some of the jokes or that it wasn't written for you?
I don't want to sound like a fraud just so I sound cool, but no, I think I got like all of the humor.
Yeah. Okay.
In it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's easy. Then people are going to think I'm cool if I say I got it all. But no, but I did. Yeah. And I appreciated like seeing a movie, with that, type of humor.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, cool. Because usually every movie is directed at me, the white heterosexual young male.
Facts. Yeah. Oh, damn.
So for me, like I totally, just like John, I definitely got a lot of the humor. The things that I didn't get were and this is one because I'm a fucking nerd and I never played. I never play poker.
Okay.
I don't play any card games.
Yeah.
So like the whole thing about spades, I don't get that at all.
Listen, I'm gonna have y'all come to like a black family barbecue or a party.
Well, one, you sold me a barbecue.
Yeah,
I love barbecue.
Listen, I got some green. We're gonna get some collard greens for you. I got you.
Oh.
You gotta leave with 2 plates. You gotta leave with 2 plates. We don't leave with 1. You gotta leave with 2.
Absolutely.
And aluminum foil for everyone. But you know what? That's a black tradition. Like, there's literally, I have to send you some skits. There's skits even on TikTok that, like, if you don't play spades as a black person, you lose your black card. Like, spades is like a tradition that has been handed down from like grandma ass whooping to grandma ass whooping. So to see them playing spades in the movie was like hilarious, you know?
There's no way that Clifton didn't learn spades in prison.
Listen,
you know?
look, man.
He was there for 4 years.
Yeah.
You know, I'm surprised he only got 4 years for hitting somebody with a car. Like, like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, yo, he's definitely. I mean,
you know, there was good behavior. You know, he didn't make any trouble. You know,
well, I love when he was dying. He goes, "All lives matter." I'm like, you motherfucker, yo, Clifton. And you know what? I think he was a playoff of He reminded me of Eddie Murphy's character from that movie.
It starts with a. It's a name.
Yes, it's
a newer movie. Norbit.
No,
not Norbit.
Because that was a bad one.
Yeah, that was terrible. When it was that movie where he played the movie, he was like they were in a movie, right?
Oh, Bowfinger.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Brian. I was gonna say talk amongst yourselves while I Google it. No, Brian.
I know Bowfinger. That was
very
Steve Martin film.
It was a lot of nods to a lot of like black, like old school stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, here's a question. Did you guys because you know in the game when they ask the questions, you got to get the questions right or you know what I mean, you die.
Yeah.
One of the questions was how many black people were in Friends, and they were like, "You shouldn't have watched Friends. You should only watch Living Single." Have y'all watched Living Single?
I've watched Living Single, but I have not watched Friends.
Oh my God! Get this man a platinum black card, my boy, my guy. Yes.
I never watched Living Single or Friends for that matter.
Okay,
but I did watch episodes of Martin and In Living Color.
Oh, cool. You followed that up. I almost hung up. You okay? You back?
Martin and In Living
back.
Color.
Okay, you go, boy. Then. You go, boy. You know what's so funny? Here's a fun fact for you and the listeners. Is that A Living Single was originally written and they stole it and created Friends based off of A Living Single.
Of course they did.
And
of course they did.
White people stole from black people?
Right?
You don't say.
Right?
You don't say.
It's crazy to think
it's not their MO at all.
And so that became, that came out actually during the Friends reunion on HBO Max, as they call it. And it was like a thing.
No, it's HBO Max.
Oh, yeah, right? And they were talking about how, all the writers, everybody working, there was not one black person that worked at Friends. And that was the whole thing that, like, they took that idea then they created Living Single later, but it was supposed to be, that was based on Friends. And that's why they didn't have a lot of black people, special guests on Friends. I think for the first 11 seasons, there was not one black character that showed up on Friends until somebody brought it up. Like,
guys.
Can we just, let's give Ross a black girlfriend for a second. And now she hosts Whose Line Is It Anyway? Like, she's trying. She's trying. But wow, okay, dope. So yeah, but I love that. So that's what I mean. It's like, you guys, I feel like any person that's white that does go to see this movie is culture. I think, you know what I mean? And that's the beautiful thing I think about the way it was written and the jokes in it, him being like, I voted for Trump, or, these little things that you catch that everybody can relate to, really had me happy. And I know for us, you see black people do skits and like, man, the killer wouldn't kill me. I'd beat his ass. Like, shoot me. And I actually see them beat their ass. It's hilarious.
The joke that I liked is the latter part of that when he said twice, because it's like, maybe some people voted in 2016 as a joke.
Yeah.
And then they were like, saw how bad I got. Like, oh my God, I made a horrendous mistake.
Yeah.
But when he said twice, it means, you liked his policies. Right. You're going to die. Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I knew exactly that guy was the fucking killer the minute he showed up on screen.
Okay, well, let's take a step back. Let's just say, it's 8 people coming together on
technically
Juneteenth.
6.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Because they were all college friends and they're coming to rent this big house in the woods, kind of in the woods. and just to kind of have a get together because I haven't seen each other in over a decade. And there is a weird minstrel game in the game room, and that's kind of like, and then chaos ensues. Just to give kind of an overall premise.
Let's give him give him the overview. Right.
Yeah.
That
imagine the most racist version of Monopoly that you can, and that's actually a line in the movie. That's not even just me making it up. That's a line in the movie, racist Monopoly. And I'm like, you hit the nail on the head there.
I mean, just the jigabug in the middle, I was like, we're all the way in right now. We are all the way in. Yeah.
I'm just like, fuck. And then like, okay, it's going to be like that.
This is the type of show we gonna put on. No, this is the type of movie we in. Okay.
And like, here's the thing, like my heritage is Jewish. So like, I'm like, that's like, if you just like literally picked out a stereotype from Nazi Germany propaganda and just put it in the middle of the fucking board.
Literally.
I'm like, oh, fuck.
Literally,
we're just going there. We're just going right there.
You know what they did? One of the things I did appreciate about the movie, too, is, that the killer was black. I mean, yes, he hired two random killers for $100, hillbilly-ass motherfuckers. But I love the fact that the game is, like, racist, but it's made by a black guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so is it racist? Like, it's like, it starts that conversation like, is it? I mean,
the common thread in this movie that I saw that was brought up a whole bunch was just, the question of what does blackness mean?
Ooh.
Like, that's literally one of the questions
Preach.
in the game board is like, what makes someone black or less than?
Ain't that crazy? Ain't that great? Yeah. And that's something, to be honest with you too, that's something, not to get too deep, but that's something that's heavy in the black community, especially when you deal with colorism, right? And you see that like a dark-skinned person may get treated a little differently than a biracial person or someone a little more light-skinned, or like, what does it mean to be black? Is that ghetto? Is that hood? Is that classy? Is that Barack Obama? Or is that Flavor Flav? There's a spectrum, and especially in the black community, there's a spectrum of black, and it's unfortunate, but it does exist. And I think a movie like this, it does a good job of bringing everyone together to the sense of being like, whether you are a black Republican or, Ivy League or a hood motherfucker or, whatever place you may be, in your blackness, we all have had this experience. We all know playing spades. We all know mixing Kool-Aid with your drink. We all know about beating the killer's ass. Like, we all can relate to these things. We all know about living single, and, we all have that thing to relate to, and this movie did a really good job of bringing it up. It really made me think of the first two Scary movies with the Wayne brothers. Like, I think they really did a good job of I think this is this generation's Scary movies.
So I got a question though about Clifton. Like, when did he do his homework? Because wasn't the whole point of him that he was like, he's from Vermont and he probably, all of his friends and everybody he knew were white,
right?
So he didn't really know, quote unquote black culture. Like, so when did he educate himself in prison?
I think, is it related to because he went to college with them, right? That was the big twist. That he was at that party and got made fun of. So I think he was in that culture already. And then I think they meet every year, don't they? In the movie?
Yeah, it was a thing where they meet every year.
Yeah. Well, are you guys sure? Because I think it had been 10 years since they'd all been together.
Well, I think this was like their 10-year
anniversary.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, it's something that they always do. They meet every year. And the big thing was just that Clifton, who was mistakenly called Carlton. I'm like,
that was just a good Easter egg.
I'm like, it kind of looks a little bit like Carlton.
With that box cut, man. It was the cut.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh yeah, he kind of looks like it. But, he kind of got invited by an Evite. So like, it's unusual for him to be there in the first place.
Oh, this is the Evite. It's funny.
What I always never understood was like, he clearly has something up with his face where he's got some sort of paralysis. And I thought, I'm like, okay, so like, did something happen to him?
Right.
Like,
that might have been an acting choice. It might have just been like, how can I look as dweeby?
That's what I'm saying. He was given a reference. That was from. I really feel like that was an Eddie Murphy pun, because he gave, it was a very interesting choice. I mean, it made it funny, it made it relatable. But you're right. There were a couple holes. I think I would have wanted the ending to have like a little more of a twist to it. But I mean, it was a comedy. I know they committed to it, but like I still wanted a little bit of the like, oh, I didn't see that coming, or like okay, that makes sense, or something like that. So or somebody being transracial or some shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The problem I had with his like reason he was doing this was, yeah, you got made fun of, but you chose to get behind the wheel when you were hammered.
Right.
That's on you.
Right. Yes. But I mean, are we not in that space now in society, unfortunately, right? That like
a little bit. Yeah.
This guy did vote for Trump.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Kill him. Murder him. But I mean, we're in that place, right? Of like, I'm gonna say racial stuff to you, and then I'm gonna call the cops. Like, it's your fault that I am mad, or it's your fault that I'm being racist, or it's your fault. Like, I can see where they went with that, but you're right. Like, you got a whole responsibility for that. You drunk, you drove, you hit. Like,
I gotta ask a question for both you guys. So, in your old friend groups, like, do you have a Clifton in your groups at all? Because I think everybody has a Clifton.
I know. I think it's a little different for us.
No, I know. No, I'm just saying that nerdy guy who's way too nerdy beyond even just like.
You got to have one.
Everybody got
like
it. In college. In college, we had two. We had one guy. I'm not gonna give his name, but
I'm gonna need you to text it to me later.
We had another guy that we colloquially called him fucking John. So like, not you, John. This was someone in college. Not you. This is No. So like, I knew John in grad school. I didn't know him in college. So like, in undergrad, we had a guy. His name's fucking John, and we're just like fucking John every time. And it's like TV video people are nerdy by nature, but there's a level even we go like,
Jesus,
this is
right.
Yeah. So I saw Clifton as that fucking John.
It's that kind of person that you accidentally at a party ask them what their favorite show is, and they start talking about Doctor Who, and then 3 hours later,
hey, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Doctor Who's awesome.
No, you're absolutely right. And you're like, that they, they don't get no pussy.
And they can't read your body language of like you're leaning in the doorway, but they just can't. They don't read it. They don't know that you're trying to.
It's one of those people where you ask them how to, like, oh man, like what you up to, and they give you everything. Like it's like, oh man, what you up to? Well, approximately like 8 a.m. when I woke up, I had a bit of a migraine, and my mother usually reads it, and you're like, oh damn, okay, we're here now.
It's like, and then you try to do the whole like, well, you do the whole like, I gotta hit the old dusty trail, walk away.
There is an app. You can get it on your phone where like you can set it that it'll go off with a fake phone call. And you can set the name on it, like Aunt Susan, be like, oh, hey, I'm sorry, man. That's my Aunt Susan. My uncle's sick. I gotta take this.
So let me get this straight. Yeah. We can't cure cancer, but we can devise apps that allow us to get out of social awkward conversations. I'm thinking that the priorities might be mixed.
Right, it's like, man, we just want universal healthcare. That's it. That's all we want.
I just want universal healthcare. No, here's an app to get you out of awkward fucking conversations.
I mean, that's how it be though. There's always that one guy. It's bad because you know him, and it's like, Dad, you got to have him around. It's like when you were growing up and you gave your little cousin a controller that wasn't plugged in.
Yeah.
And they were playing a game. You're like, you're doing such a great job. It's the same. That's a Cliff. Yeah.
That's a Cliff.
Jesus. Yeah, that's wonderful. Man. Now, do you think, obviously this movie was successful as far as like that goes. Do you see this becoming a franchise? Do you see it taking the route of a scary movie? Or do you think it's a one-off?
This movie kind of reminds me of a horror movie like April Fool's Day. And
yes,
in a sense, like, oh, it's the big twist at the end, like nobody died. Like, it's one thing if it's Jason just cutting up motherfuckers left and right, and then the next movie you just get a new crop of motherfuckers to cut up left and right. I feel like the premise of this, like, not that they wouldn't do it, but I just don't know how easy it would be to make a sequel.
Money, by the way. Yeah. This thing had a budget of $5 million.
How much it make?
17.7.
Did it?
Yeah.
Let's go. And it was
it was according to Wikipedia, of course.
Right.
But
of course.
But no, I mean, and it critics wise, 87%
on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Let me find out. Okay, Blackening. I like it. I mean, I knew it was. Let me tell you something. This is how you know a movie is good. When on Amazon to rent it, it's $30. Like,
there you go.
How you know.
Yeah.
When you go to rent, I went to rent it. I was like 30. God damn. Like, I'm a superstar. That was a lot. I was like, Jesus. Like, I might as well buy it. Like, I own it now. It was like 30 to rent, 32 to buy. I'm like, come on, man. You out here. You just teasing me at this point, so I might as well buy it. But yeah, but I'm glad I did. It was amazing. It was a great choice by y'all. That was a really great movie choice.
Well, I'm glad we chose this over a fun story. House party.
Here's a fun story of her YouTube and Amazon of things that I bought. Amazon was an accident. I was completely hammered, and I was like, you know what I'm gonna do, because I was home alone. I'm like, I'm gonna watch the director's cut of Batman v Superman. See if it is any better. I was so drunk, I accidentally bought it without realizing. So now on Amazon, it's like the only purchase I have, and I'm like it just stares at me and mocks me. But even better than that,
could be worse. You could have Batman and Robin.
You mean with the bat nipples?
You know, this is even worse than that.
Yeah.
This is even worse than that. On YouTube, I had a bunch of people over to watch a horrible Christmas movie.
This is great. This is hilarious.
And it was Kirk Cameron Saves Christmas, so we could all laugh at it. And it wasn't playing right, and so I had to purchase it. And that's like also my only YouTube purchase. So Kirk Cameron just stares at me. I'm like, you motherfucker.
Every time you
I was there when he had to buy it.
You watched this and you loved
it. No, I was there.
I watch it every year. I watch it in July too for Christmas.
Well, here's the funny thing, man. Like the way that the YouTube algorithm works, it works off of watch time. So because, John, that you watched that entire thing all the way through, you know, Google and YouTube think that that's what you want to watch.
He's locked in for life, man.
You're locked in for life.
Locked in for life, my guy. It's a wrap.
Is that why I keep getting so many Kevin Sorbo movies?
Man. You're
that's
committed
right.
At this point, you gotta just dive into it at this point.
You're gonna get that. What is that Jim Caviezel movie that's like blowing up?
Oh
about pedophiles and crap.
Oh, I did see something about that.
It's nothing but propaganda.
Yeah. Damn, what is that called?
Oh shit. I don't know.
It's like, it's the dark horse right now, because like Barbie's killing it, Oppenheimer's killing it, and then like Haunted Mansion is like doing terrible, and then so did The Last Voyage of the Demeter. But like that movie, because it's a low budget, has just been like steadily hopping along.
Well, let's be honest here. There's a certain sect of people going to see that movie that will keep going to see that movie, because it's like Republican propaganda.
It is. And then now I have that whole thing on TikTok, and like they're saying that the theaters are blocking it on purpose and all that stuff. Yeah.
It's really bad.
Yeah, like really, really bad, which is hilarious. Now I was it's funny. I have a question I want to ask. Now this is not about the blackening, but like I talk to my friends all about it. You know, and Brian knows I'm a super movie geek, but it's horrid. I'm really excited about it, and I wanted to debate it with you guys. It might not be a debate. You might agree with me, but how did you guys feel about Evil Dead Rising? Or Evil Dead Rise, should I say?
John, you go first.
Brian, I was going to say, Brian, I'll go first because I know that you're going to go deep dive.
I will very much. Deep dive.
I very much enjoyed it, but I did feel that it was like a sizzle reel for the director.
Oh, a sizzle reel. Good. Wow, I never heard that. That's great. Yeah. Wow, that's great.
Like I didn't think his heart was truly in it. It's like, well, look at all the effects I could do, so you can hire me for other projects. Like, and I did feel that like I've seen this before, but better in terms of like Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2, you know. And but having said that, no, I thought it was a fine movie. But
I fucking loved it. I saw it in the theaters with my brother, and I had a riot with it. And because also like I saw the trailer for it, and I'm just like, why are we doing this again? Like, why are we making Evil Dead in a high rise? It makes no sense. And like, oh well, they're gonna say, oh well, we did practical effects, and like, oh, okay, whatever. But then I went and saw the movie, and I was just like, holy shit.
They flexed.
And and like I thought it did well in kind of picking up a lot of those like Sam Raimi isms.
The Easter eggs were
in the cinematography. Like you get a lot of like these snap zooms and you know really like Dutch angle shots, and I'm like, that's all Sam Raimi
very much
shit.
So.
And then you couple it with the lead actress who played
Alyssa Sutherland. Alyssa Sutherland.
Yeah, saying some of the most horrific shit that I have ever heard any actress say.
She did that.
Period.
You haven't heard Mel Gibson like being pulled over?
But no, well, I have. I have. As a Jewish person, I have. But no, I'm saying just like in terms of, you're talking to children,
dog,
and you're saying
Mommy's
like
with the maggots now.
Mommy's with the maggots now, and you little like nipple sucking vipers, like just horrible shit.
She acted her ass
I'm just
off.
like, oh,
well, I think her being so tall, right, and her being like her, like I got in a debate with somebody because, I loved it. I loved it big time.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that there was no rules, that they were just killing kids. You know what I'm saying? Like
the little kid was never gonna die.
I mean, he did get that one. The one got his arms ripped off. It was a rat.
Right, but I'm just saying, like the little girl.
Oh no, she wasn't going to. She was close to it. Like they made me believe it. I love the fact too that they went to the place where, like, in the beginning, obviously the dumb shit happens. She goes into the safe, and you're just like, at the beginning, I was mad at first. I'm like, oh, this is fucking dumb. Like, why would you do this? You don't know what you're grabbing. Obviously, you can hear shit. It's weird as a statue of Jesus in the boat. Like, that's a problem. But then I love that she got called back to it, where they were like, yo, this is your fucking fault, dog. Like, all this is happening because you wanted to play them goddamn records, and I told you not to do it. Now you're gonna die. And I was like, I was excited about it, But I bring that up to say, and I wanted to say it to you guys because I don't get to I don't get to have horror conversations with my friends, and I just want to vent for a second. This is for all the listeners as well, and they can hold me to this. I hope they cut this as a sound bite, but I just want to get this off my chest. Talk to Me is trash, and Talk to Me is trash, and this is my hot take, man. I wanted to come on the Psycho Show and really just like, I just wanted to put it on the table and serve it up. It's trash. And if I get a chance to meet the director, I'm kicking him in the nuts, like with a running start for hyping me up, man, in them commercials. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go to Macy's. I'm gonna cut off a mannequin hand, and when I see him, I'm gonna run as if like we're friends that haven't like seen each other for a long time, and I'm gonna smack the shit out of him with a mannequin hand until he can't talk to me. You know what? Not only does Talk to Me is terrible, I don't want it to talk to me. I don't want it to text me. I don't want it to write me a letter. I don't want emojis from.
What about carrier?
Carrier pigeon. I don't want the British are coming. I don't want somebody to ride through my neighborhood on a horse telling me to talk to me. I you know what? I don't even want nobody to give me sign language at this point. Yeah, that movie's trash. So, if somebody likes it, I appreciate them for it, and I love it. But like, I'm breaking your TV. I'm not broken.
Congratulations, Frzy. You just became our TikTok soundbite for the episode.
Here, Brian, start it with this. And now, movie reviews by Frzy.
Let me do a segment where I just come in like, I'm running.
I might have to. I might have to do it just like that.
I'm trying to get Macy's as a sponsor, so hopefully that works out.
Yeah, I mean, you're using their mannequins. It's not like you're using Kohl's mannequins.
Come on, man, right?
Like that,
exactly.
Right?
Or shout out to like Forever 21's mannequins for having like a size difference. You got some skinny ones, got some fat ones.
That's right.
Couple little people mannequins. It's a beautiful thing. But I just feel like
I haven't seen. Here's the thing. I can't talk about it because I haven't.
You haven't seen Talk to Me yet?
I haven't.
I have not.
You both have. Listen to me. I love you. I'm kissing both of y'all on the lips. This is great. You're still pure of heart.
You haven't been destroyed yet. But so let me ask you this: do you think it's because A24 kind of has that smell their own farts thing?
It is. You know what? A24 is like that banana that's taped to the wall. People are like, the art is incredible. It's
Blumhouse with the pinky out.
Oh, that's
it's good. Blumhouse with the pinky out, but that pinky is like the butler from Scary Movie. It's my strong hand. That's that type of pinky out where you're like,
it's got magic.
You gotta mash it up and put it inside the hand.
You gotta mash it real good with your hands.
Like, dog, that's what makes me so mad about A24 is, for one, who keeps giving me all this budget? One, two, when it's over. Because the hype of it was amazing, right? The hype of it was like, oh, at the film festival, it crushes the scariest movie in a decade. People are like just even the idea of the movie of like, you grab the hand and I was like, oh my God, this is fucking dope. I'm so excited. I went on the first day, like I was so excited about it. And when the movie's over, I'm like, I don't understand. Okay, are they dead? Like, what is this person doing that? Like, is this a secret mess? I don't know I don't know. And then you go on there, A24 is like, it's whatever you want it to be. Oh, and I was like, you know what?
That's because they don't know.
Yeah. They don't know at all. You know what it is? Their printer ran out of paper. So they didn't finish the fucking script.
So they took the Blair Witch Project approach of marketing.
They did, dog.
They took we don't have really a fucking good movie, but we're gonna market the shit out of this thing. And honestly, Frizzy, like anytime that I see anyone say this is the scariest movie of all time, this is the scariest movie of the 2020, scariest movie of the 20. Fuck you, right? That's like I go, no, it's not. No, it's not. You're being paid. You're being paid by somebody to say it's the scariest movie of all time. Just like when James Gunn came out and said this is the best superhero movie of all time. Talking about
I thought you were gonna say Tom Cruise too.
No, yes, Tom Cruise too. The best movie of all time. Stephen King, the best superhero movie of all time. Fuck no. Fuck.
Well, I love like when they pay off James Cameron every time they make a Terminator movie.
Oh yeah,
and they give him a check for like $500,000, and he's like, "That's the best one since my movie."
It's like
no, it's not, because it's not your movie. That's why it's not good. Like they haven't learned their lesson.
That's the weird thing, man. And that should be working, which is weird, man. People be like, Tom Cruise, like I can't wait to see. Like he said, The Flash is amazing. Like this man who's never been in a superhero movie ever, like. Also, like I'm pretty sure he can't even tell me which Flash is his favorite. It's just like, and then he's flaunting that he got to see it before us, and then we go see it, and it's like now. I think the movie made less than Green Lantern, didn't it?
It made less than Black Adam.
It was shocking how little this movie.
And everybody's like, I liked it. I wonder why they didn't go see it. Like, yeah, well, maybe your lead actor shouldn't be throwing people in the street and throwing cheers at people.
Maybe don't do a crime spree.
Choking people.
Right, can we not like have a missing persons report out and him just like chilling, and then he comes to the red carpet casual too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like all dressed up to the nines.
A man bun, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, that was just
you know what I'm saying? Like you wore white linen.
You know what? They should have just came to the premiere with a giant middle finger on a t-shirt and just said that's it, because that's literally what they're doing there. And we said this all on our Flash episode. Like, they tried to sell us a bill of goods saying, "Oh, remember Michael Keaton as Batman? You remember him, right? He was so awesome. You remember him? We're going to have the whole marketing pitch around him." And Ezra Miller's in it, but remember Michael Keaton? Remember Batman?
Well, Brian, that's the whole reason I went, and like that's the reason we did it for the show.
That's the reason why I did it too.
If the premise was like, oh, this is a different universe, Ben Affleck, I probably wouldn't have seen the movie. I probably would have been like, I don't care.
Okay,
but I'm like Michael Keaton,
Okay, well, I heard you guys on the episode talk about it, but who's your Batman? I gotta ask both of y'all.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
I mean, unless we want to be super dorks and say Kevin Conroy. I don't know if that.
Yeah,
that's everybody. Man.
Of live action.
Kevin, live action, go, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so Michael Keaton. Okay, I'll take that. Yes. Okay, I'm a
Christian Bale's a good second.
I'm a Batfleck person myself, but I mean, Keaton's Keaton.
Okay.
Like that's unarguable. Like he's a legend, and even just it still made my dick hard when he came on screen. Like even long hair him, I was like, like I was like, I'm always going to freak out when and then that soundtrack starts playing. I mean, you can't beat it. But also, I'm a Henry Cavill dude, and I'm just not liking the way that Gunn is doing this, especially what just happened with Gal Gadot. With that whole situation, it just feels messy. And like, I'm going to go see Blue Beetle because I'm a Blue Beetle fan. I love it. Plus, shout out to Cobra Kai. Like, I'm going to support. And my boy is in it, but like, it's messy, man. I just had to ask y'all because I was like, what, I don't get it.
I'm be honest with you, Frizzy, I have a feeling that movie is going to tank.
I know it is.
I really do. Like,
they already announced that, like, they're like, yeah, technically it counts, but it's not going to affect anything from the new.
Right. He said Blue Beetle is officially the newest, the first character of the DCU.
Cut by default.
Default.
Yeah. Like, come on, man. So what is Aquaman in? I don't.
Well, yeah. See, that's the ending credit scene of Flash. It's like basically we needed Ezra Miller to come on and be like, Jason Momoa, it's still gonna be Aquaman.
Right,
Don't
right.
worry.
Like, but we're gonna take Cavwell. We're gonna just put him in another 3D. I can't do it.
I wonder, like, is Margot Robbie? Are they going to recast Harley Quinn? Are they going to recast Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman?
They did for the Joker sequel,
but that's supposed to be Elseworld, right?
Yeah. Yes, that's supposed to be Bizarro Elseworld. Which honestly, I rather watch that than
that's true. But I mean, I'm don't bring me on for that because I still feel a little bit of a type of way about Gaga playing. But like I'm a Margot Robbie dude. I'm that guy. But I do love what they did with it, and I feel like I wonder can they bring home another Oscar? That's the question. That's the question. Jeez, I can't be on this show with y'all. Y'all got me.
So the Blackening.
Okay, what do you guys give it on a psycho thing?
Just real quick, I want to ask you guys, like, do you think that for certain people who are just there for the gore and the kills, do you think some people like were upset by this movie because it is a lot of character development, a lot of jokes, a lot of talking. There's almost no like gore or death in this movie. Do you think that lost some audience members?
Well, you want to go first?
I don't know. Yeah, I'll go first. I mean, for me, I knew what I was getting into when I was watching this. Like that's almost like saying like you're disappointed that Scary Movie didn't have as much gore, and it's like, well, no, you're not expecting that, right? So like I was expecting exactly what I got, and I like the fact that it wasn't too much of a caricature, right? Like that was the thing that I liked, is that these characters did have dimension, they did have complexity. Like you have this whole back and forth with I'm gonna butcher the character's name, but Dwayne, one of the writers of the movie,
shout out Dwayne
himself. Basically in this, how he's kind of conflicted because his best friend is getting back together with and like that's something that I'm sorry you wouldn't get in Scary Movie in any of them, because they're just kind of
well, yeah, those movies are zany. That's
right, but that's my point. But that's my point is that this movie has a bit more complexity to it, so I was okay with it. It has tons of comedy in it. But like the moments of gore that you get, I don't think you go to this movie for the gore. You're going there for the comedy.
Well, there's some people that we'll give like a bad review for My Dinner with Andre. No explosions, 1 star.
That's true.
Pride and Prejudice, no bare ass, 1 star.
Yeah, I mean, I second that. I think I do have an alternate ending to my thought though. I agree with you. Jay, I do think you knew what you were walking into for sure. I think the marketing was great. They kind of gave that feel of this is what it was going to be like. And it was a little more comedic than I thought, but I liked it. I enjoyed that about it. I think my only qualm, if I can use something from Webster, my only qualm was that I do want, and I'm going to sound very February right now. I'm going to sound very Black History Month with this. I do want a Black horror film that's not funny. Like, we don't really have that, right? Like I feel like every Black horror film in a way either has a pun to it, or it has some type of racial theme to it. Like, I love to Get Out. I guess I still consider Nope a horror film, even though it has, it's mainly sci-fi elements to it. But they do all still play into the racial aspect of it. And I would love for there to be a movie that's like, myself, I want a Black werewolf movie that's in a neighborhood, right? You even when you think about, you go all the way back to Vampire in Brooklyn with Eddie Murphy, it still had that super comedic play off of it. Yes. So it's like I would love for us to have something. I mean, I guess Candyman kind of falls into that category a little bit. Yeah, so I do think you get that in that element. But like, let's not have them in the projects. Let's just have a film that happens to be, Black people that are dealing with a monster, but that monster isn't planted in the hood or isn't cloned by Tyrone, right?
Right.
Well, Frzy, do you think that that's just because of the absurdity of the treatment of Black people, not just in horror films throughout since the beginning of film, but just film in general?
That's a good point, man. That's a great point. I think that I would like to start to see, because of that, I think you have to go back, right? Like I wouldn't mind seeing, not to reference Vampire in Brooklyn, but I wouldn't mind seeing a Black Dracula, right?
That's not exploitative. Like
that's not Blackula. Exactly.
Hey, I love
right?
Blackula.
Or thinking like, when you look at these things from back in the day, or you look at like a Frankenstein movie where even if we pull into the element of slavery, or things like that, where it's every ancient horror monster is some type of connected to some type of whiteness. And it makes you go, obviously, like you said back then, that was the treatment of it. But now we are in this space where we can start doing some new stuff. But I want it to be a Black vampire or a Black werewolf that's not vampires in Compton. You know what I mean? Like, where it's like this vampire had to come out of a Black space or a white space. Or it's like, even when you look at somebody like Blade, that's amazing. But it's like the hints of, well, of course, it's the vampire with melanin that can walk in the sun.
Yeah,
man.
No,
So
right.
the Blackening, I think, did a great job of doing what it was supposed to be, but it also made me hunger for a movie that just so happens to have these elements in it, where it's like where the Black person lives at the end, you're not like surprised.
Well, it's almost
very good docu. Oh, sorry,
go. I was gonna say, like, the only one I could think of where you have a little bit of that is Night of the Living Dead with Dwayne Jones' character. Like, obviously at the time, 1968, like, to audiences, that was
right.
Holy shit. But within the world of the movie, no one brings up his.
That's a great fucking point.
And to see him beat the shit out of the Cooper, who basically is he's a stand-in for the system. You know, and for him to just smack that sumbitch around. That had to be cathartic.
But it's not done. But it's not done for like exploitative reasons.
No.
Like that's why I think, Frizzy, you're getting at is like when we're watching Dwayne Jones, we're not seeing him as like, oh well, he must have came from the hood or someplace. He's just he's a truck driver. He was in town and like he's just a person, right? And he's doing this thing in the because of a circumstance that's happening to everyone in the farmhouse. Like,
you're absolutely right. Well, I mean, I think also, John, you hit it really, really on the head, right? Of like how Black people have been treated throughout these films. Because even when you see something like a Scream or a Jason or Michael Myers or any of these films that have these, like, even these slasher films, really, the killer never ends up being a Black person, because even when it's a cast of white people and they're like, oh, it was Jamal, right? It never, because you don't really see that. And I think especially now when we're in this societal circle of, unfortunately, mass killings and school shootings, it usually is a white, person that does something in that space. You don't really see a lot of Black people in that space, except for like DC Sniper and little, there's of course moments, but majority are white people who commit those type of crimes or kill the whole family, right? It's usually like a white person. So that I think they play up to that in these movies because that's what we would expect, or that's something, I hate to say comfortable, but it does create this comfortability of, oh, that feels more realistic than Ghostface pulling his mask off and it's the Black dude who lived down the street. Who no one.
Well, FBI profilers often say that people tend, like serial killers or just crazy people in general, tend to stalk their
You're
own
right.
kind.
I mean, that's true. That's why Black on Black crime is not a real thing.
I like to call that crime.
Literally. Because I mean,
I'm like, why do white people call it Black on Black crime? Don't you mean crime?
Crime. I didn't know that crime
nobody says white on white
color.
crime.
It's just crime.
That's true, man. That's true. Well, I mean, I think you're right. But I mean, even when you go back to the title, like the Blackening it just sounds like it's they leaned into it, and it's fun. It's fun. I think they accomplished what they accomplished. I love it. I give it a maniac psycho out of insane, or You know, or should I say a Sane? To me, Sane is like a terrible movie, and a Psycho is an amazing film. So I give it a Psycho. I give it a Straight Jacket. Yeah, nice. I love it.
Nice.
A great documentary if people want to see the like history of how African Americans are treated in horror movies is Horror Noir. Easy for me to say. That's a history of Black horror. It's on Shudder, but you know you can buy it on Blu-ray.
I've never heard of that. Really?
Now,
yeah. Shudder's got some good documentaries.
Yeah, Horror Noir. I would absolutely recommend it. I have it on Blu-ray, so if you can't find it anywhere online,
I'll say just come on over. Well, you know, now that you, first of all, both of you guys suggest. That's what I'm saying. In a movie theater. I mean, and you guys both suggesting a documentary about how Black people were treated in films. Let's extend that, Black art. Let's extend that. Let's make that a week pass, please.
A week pass.
Let's make that a whole week pass. I need that. You know what I mean? I need to get y'all some Juneteenth outfits and some cornrows. That needs to happen aggressively.
I'm bald as fuck.
We'll call that the Jordan. That's nothing but the Jordan right there.
Okay, there we go.
That's a Samuel L. Jackson right there. That's all. Yeah, I'm not gonna save you in my phone as Shaft. It's White Shaft. That's what I'm saving you. It's my brother.
White Shaft.
Well, speaking of which, the director of The Blackening directed the remake of Shaft.
He did. Yes.
He did.
Which I loved Shaft in Africa, so I was not crazy about.
Neither was I, man. I don't know if I can say that on live. We're still recording. Damn.
We're still recording.
We're still recording.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I loved it. Shout out to Samuel L. Jackson and Coach Carter. No.
Well, we had an episode one time where I think Brian was like, "John, you're kind of an expert on blaxploitation movies for some reason." I'm like, "That's true."
Yeah. That was a.
I mean, it's also one of them things like when you meet Brian, it's like if your daughter was like light skinned, it would make sense. I'm like, I see it. Okay, my boy was in the club. He was at Club Zoo. I understand. That's crazy though. But I mean, I love that but you know what? You guys know film. And I think that's the beautiful thing about this show. That's the beautiful thing about you guys as hosts, is that you appreciate and you have your knowledge and you know film. And this show isn't based on the color of your skin. You guys don't put yourself into a corner where you only go to your comfort spots. And you guys really got a lot of respect from me for picking this film. And I knew it wasn't we have a black, a black guest. So let's pick a black film. Like, if you just go back and watch some episodes, which everybody go back and listen to all 280 episodes, and fuck episode 282. And I just really appreciate you guys. I'm very grateful for being on the show. You guys are awesome.
Thanks. Well, Frzy, you're pretty awesome too, because you've got something crazy coming up in November, right? We mentioned at the top of the show, but tell me about your Heinz Hall show coming up in November.
Ooh, Heinz Hall too. You got like
look, man, it's like bring your ties out. I'm really honored. I think in your career you have moments. You have moments of, I call them like moments of upgrades, right, where your superstardom continues to climb. And I've done some amazing things in my career with Emmys and Grammys and all this stuff that's like really, really humbling, right? Because it's on a bucket list. But this was something I grew up in Pittsburgh. I stood in front of Heinz Hall. I never even went to Heinz Hall until I was like in my late 20s. And so to be, I am, just to say for the listeners listening, I am teaming up with the Pittsburgh Symphony, the #1 symphony in the world by Rolling Stone standards, to do a one night only event where the Pittsburgh Symphony is going to reimagine my new album Success that's coming out in September. And they're going to do the whole album on stage. And this is the first time the Pittsburgh Symphony has done something with a local artist on this level to do a full show. And I mean, there's only a handful of artists, rappers that had performed with symphonies on this type of stage, like a Jay-Z, Nas, Common, these legendary people. And for me, it's such an honor. I think the person that was on stage before me at this Heinz Hall, the last artist the big artist they did the show with was Sting, So we're teaming up one night only, November 8th at Heinz Hall, 7:30. Tickets are on sale now. It's going to be an amazing night. We got the choir coming in. The arranger, Christian Krieger, he made me a Frzy theme which will premiere that night. Like I have my own theme music. He was like, Frizz, you're a king. You love superheroes. So he mixed a little bit of Black Panther in there, a little bit of Rocky. He created it all from scratch. And I cried the first time I heard it because it was just like, wow, you grow up as a kid, especially like, me, Brian, watching Dragon Ball Z. I love Superman. I love Black Panther. So to have my own theme music, which by the way, will be a ringtone for people to get after the show. But yeah, we're teaming up, man, and really just kind of coming together. I'll have my band, The Faculty, with me. DJ Solo Dolo will be on stage. This is going to be a 90-minute show. And it's going to be something like people have never seen before. I can't even wait for y'all to see my outfit. I might have to send y'all my outfit secretly after the show, but it's a beautiful thing, man. So I really appreciate it. I hope to see you guys there. I hope to see all the listeners there.
I know. I already got tickets.
I'll be there.
It.
Yeah,
I already got tickets to it. My wife and I are going.
Shout out to the Queen, man. Shout out to the Queen. But yeah, I'm excited about it. This is definitely going to be one of the biggest shows of my career. And, though I'm always in the building, this is opening doors to legendary conversations, like especially where I am in my career, to do something that someone like a Jay-Z has done or a Nas has done. Really, I think speaks volumes to where I'm at in my career. I'm very humbled and excited about it. It's the fucking Pittsburgh Symphony. Like I can't even handle it. Yeah,
that's so cool.
So,
thanks. Very impressive.
But Brian, before we wrap this episode up, I'm going to put you on the spot. I've had this in the back of my head since we were talking about like barbecue. And Frizzy, I'm as white as white kids.
Okay, let's go. I like it.
So all right, Brian.
Yeah.
Is macaroni and cheese an entree or a side dish?
Well, you mother don't fuck this up, big.
I'm gonna go with it's an entree. You think it's a side dish?
Okay, listen. What are you look? Brad, you lucky you handsome, man. You lucky you a pretty motherfucker, dog. Listen. I don't know what y'all doing for Thanksgiving, but I think I know where y'all coming. I think y'all know. It's gonna be a fritz.
Well, I mean, we had like 3 years of Thanksgiving only at home.
True.
Couldn't go anywhere, so I'll take I'll take anywhere.
Yeah. Well, okay, let me ask y'all this: for Thanksgiving, when everybody cooking, what music y'all playing? That's the question.
In my head, I'm playing metal. That's just me, though.
Yeah, I don't mean to just cop out on it, but I'm watching.
Okay, so y'all don't even. Y'all ain't got no Al Green play. Okay, yeah, y'all coming over. Y'all coming over.
But here's the thing though. For both Christmas and Thanksgiving, I always do Cajun smoked turkey. So, and on the smoker, I don't do the traditional, I'll call it what it is, white people turkey. I don't do that. I like flavor. It's crazy.
It's a crazy concept. It exists.
Seasoning, spice, a lot of it. I put a lot of time into the turkey. That is my thing. So I spend a lot of time. I have Weber Smoky Mountain smoker. Sit outside. Damn. I plan the whole thing out and listen to some metal, watching YouTube videos on filmmaking because I'm a fucking nerd. And as I check my smoker, like that's what I do for Thanksgiving.
Okay, I mean, I love. Well, no matter what, I'm saving y'all a plate, and I'm gonna have y'all test it out on the Christmas special. I'm excited because I love to throw down. I'm a cooker. I cook myself, especially the holidays when the industry shuts down and you get to be with the fans, especially because the Grammys coming up in February. So I like to try to get that in. Frizzy Day is in January, so it's this whole like getting to relax with the family and going. So they gonna see a selfie of us. I know this ain't video, but they're gonna get a selfie of us coming up soon and y'all eating the plate. I'm excited. That's what we selling it.
Very cool.
Oh man. Well, once again, man, thanks for having me on, man. You guys are awesome, man. You guys are psychos. I love it.
Awesome. Well, Frizzy, where can people find more information about you, about your music, and of course, obviously about your Heinz Hall?
Yeah, man. Well, it's Frizzy everywhere. When you get to a certain level in your career, the socials let you just have your name. No underscores or numbers. Just FRZY on all accounts. And man, right on there is the link in my bio. I mean, you can Google it. It's everywhere right now. You're about to see the ads on some PAT buses and on billboards everywhere. Nice. So yeah, Jay can go to pittsburghsymphony.org to order your tickets as well. And we made it, one thing about this show is I wanted to make it for everybody. because there's a stigma around the symphony around Heinz Hall that it's really just for like, it's classism at its best, right? It's only for the upperclassmen, but it's not. Heinz Hall has been open to everybody. The symphony is open to everybody. So, tickets ranging from $25 to $65. We really wanted to make it affordable for everybody. So yeah, you can just head over to PittsburghSymphony.org or to my Instagram or to my Facebook or to my ex or to my,
your ex
formerly Twitter, not my ex. Don't talk to her. And also Threads. I mean, it's everywhere. And I really hope to see everyone there, and including all your listeners, man. I really appreciate the opportunity to be on the show.
Awesome. Well, John, where can they find you at on the internets?
Well, I guess for the first-time listeners, I'm sure everybody else can probably do this verbatim, but Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and over on YouTube at JDubs Video Nasties. If you like what we do in this show and you want it even raunchier and sillier, and you want to see an ugly face instead of listening to my voice, then there's your extra psychos type of entertainment.
Man.
Awesome. You don't you have your new video coming out soon?
Yeah, I've been delayed. I've been putting the reel together for my lady. I've been doing dog food commercials. Long story there. But yeah, I got an episode coming out on Dirty Harry, on the fascism of Dirty Harry.
He's been promising that for
about 16 years.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. I'm invested.
It's written. I just need to get the fucker shot, and I already have all the B-roll stuff too. So
I'm just gonna send you a text, John, just in the middle of the day, be like, "So, what are you doing? You should be filming that Dirty Harry thing."
I need to get it done. I got to get prepared for the Halloween spooky season episode.
That's true.
Too.
That's true. We got that coming up. You can find me at Brian Coddington on X, formerly Twitter. You can also find me at Psycho Show. I run the Psycho Show page. Be sure to like us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Psycho Show. We are also on the TikToks for our millennial.
There it is.
Our Gen Z and elder and millennial folk. And I wouldn't say elder Zoomers. The Zoomers. Yeah. So we're on there at Cinema Psycho Show. We surprisingly are doing well in it. I don't know how the hell that works.
Don't question it. Just roll.
I'm not
going
to question it, but we're there. You also, if you want to talk about the Blackening, a lot of the different topics we covered today, which we covered a lot more so than I thought, but it's great. It's great having these sorts of conversations, but keep it going. Hop on to our Discord channel. The link for it is in the description of this episode. You can talk with us directly and tell us hey, I love the Blackening, or hey, I hated it. In which case,
you're a racist.
Okay. You're a racist.
Yeah.
There you go. And obviously, talk to us there. If you want to be older, you can do that too, and you can contact us via email at our website, cinemapsychoshow.com. Please be sure to follow us and like us and subscribe to us wherever you get your audio, and we will see you next time.
Frzy, November 8th, Heinz Hall. Do not miss this
get
opportunity.